Hi, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I am trying something really new today. Just turning the camera on and talking. That's a lie. I'm gonna be making a snack. But I kind of just felt like recording something and talking and seeing how everyone likes it. Today we are gonna be making my go-to snack nowadays. I've got these little cukes and I'm gonna be making like a Japanese cucumber salad while I kind of tell you about my life. I also posted on Instagram lately that March is like National Sleep Awareness Month or something like that. And seeing as I have narcolepsy, thought maybe this would be a good time to kind of talk about what I've learned over the years and what my diagnosis looks like, how I get through every day, so on and so forth. Because believe it or not, a lot of the people that I've told about my sleep disorder have asked me a lot of questions about ways that their sleep is also disordered. So I don't know, hopefully this might help some of you. I'm just gonna talk while I make this, so I'm gonna get all the ingredients out of the way first. Little cukes, too lazy to take out my big tub of sugar, so maple syrup, sesame oil, rice vinegar, soy sauce, some garlic powder, white sesame seeds, and red pepper flakes. I have to kind of like hunch down as I talk because of how my camera's set up. So I'm filming this video at the end of February. Hope you can hear me. And I feel like this year has been really good so far. I feel like I've been spending a lot more time with David. I've gotten to see some friends. I've been doing a good job at keeping up with my habits like Bible reading, some exercise most days, taking my vitamins, trying to not look at social media for the first hour of every day. I actually gave up social media for Lent like as much as I could. I have a bunch of work that I do on social media, but I've mainly given up the part where I'm just like mindlessly scrolling. And it's been really great for my mental health. Whoops. If you do this, by the way, if you ever use a mandolin, be super careful. We saw Ronnie Chang live. I've gotten a bunch of really cool orders. I just went to a bridal shower this past weekend and I baked a huge order for a bridal shower. So life's been pretty good lately. Let me know in the comments how your 2024 is going so far and how I can be praying for you. I realize that this situation is probably not great for audio, so let me just do this first. Ta-da! Okay, now time to make the sauce. I guess it's time to talk about my narcolepsy then. A bunch of the questions I got from Instagram were things like, what are your symptoms? What made you decide to get a sleep study done? How do you go about your day-to-day? And so I will just kind of briefly go through my journey and go from there. So I've had sleep issues my whole life. I remember there was a period of time when I was a kid and I had nightmares every single night basically for several weeks straight. And this would happen like on and off again. And then like growing up, I was always sleepy, but I just thought, you know, that's just what every overworked high school student feels like. And then I got through college, chugging loads of coffee, just doing whatever I could to survive. I started working and that's when I got really bad. I would have weeks of just nightmares nonstop. I was pounding coffee back every day. I was so exhausted, but I realized something was wrong apart from the nightmares. When I realized that even on vacation, I would be so exhausted all the time. Even if I went to bed early, even if I slept in, even if I got 8 hours of sleep consistently several nights in a row. And so I decided to get a sleep study done. I think this needs more soy sauce. So in total, I've gotten 3 sleep studies done. And for each of those studies, I stayed overnight at a medical facility. And then I also hung out there and tried to take 5 naps that were each 2 hours apart from each other. I'm just gonna add a little more of everything. The first 2 sleep studies kind of came back inconclusive and they were done at 2 different facilities. I saw 2 different sleep doctors. I've been to an allergy specialist. I've seen a lot of different kinds of people. It was once I got to this last sleep specialist that I started to feel like, okay, somebody believes that something is wrong with me. Like throughout this whole journey, I didn't feel super validated by medical professionals, which is really unfortunate and happens way too often. But this specialist was basically like, I believe you, I know that there's something wrong, let's get to the bottom of this. And thankfully, after that 3rd sleep study, I was diagnosed with narcolepsy. So a little more about the sleep study. You get to the facility at like 8 p.m. You try to sleep with like wires hooked up all over you. You wake up really early the next morning, and then if you do the nap study like I did, which I feel like can better indicate whether or not you have narcolepsy, you stay there and you take, again, 5 naps, 2 hours apart. And you get 15 minutes to try and nap each time. People with narcolepsy have excessive daytime sleepiness, and ideally should not be able to fall asleep all or most of those times. I fell asleep 4 out of 5 of those times, which is a really clear indicator that I probably have narcolepsy. I didn't really taste this, like I just kind of threw everything together, but I like all the ingredients that I threw in, and I'm just gonna let this marinate after I mix it about. And so this is gonna sit for like at least 30 minutes. I'll just keep talking. But yeah, so I got diagnosed August of 2022. Yes. And that just felt super validating. It feels so good to finally be able to put a diagnosis and a term to something that you've been dealing with your whole life. I officially have narcolepsy and I have some kind of nightmare disorder that hasn't really been figured out. I've been seeing a therapist on and off for many years now, and I feel like we've honestly unpacked most of the things in my life, if not all of them, like a lot of the major stuff. So I know people say that like nightmares are usually linked to trauma or fear, but I get nightmares during times where I'm not stressed, I'm not trying to unpack any kind of big trauma in my life. So I don't know, that's still a mystery. Sorry, I know I'm kind of just like bopping back and forth a lot. Okay, so I got diagnosed and then I was prescribed armodafinil, which is a really mild stimulant. I am to take that on an as needed basis. So I take one of those pills really early in the morning, usually when I have a really full day, like stuff back to back to back from morning all the way into the night. Or if I know I have a lot of driving to do, or if I know I have to talk to a lot of people, because God knows my social battery drains so fast. There are some side effects, like you can get really jittery, your heart can race. For me, I have to pee a lot. It is probably one of the only things that has consistently gotten rid of the brain fog that I experience each and every day because of my narcolepsy. So for that, I am really grateful. But yeah, I feel like if you feel like you have some kind of sleep issue, whether it's narcolepsy or sleep apnea or insomnia, I would 1000% recommend getting a sleep study done, and to even get multiple done, because like even in my story, I needed to get 3 done in order to actually find a diagnosis. I feel like it's covered by a lot of insurance, and it's always good to just have more information about your body. Apart from the medication, which I try to not take every single day, I really only take it like once every couple weeks if I really need it, just because I know you can start to form a dependency on it. I do drink coffee. I love coffee. I usually have 2 a day. I try to spend as much time in the sunshine as possible, and I find that to be really helpful. The biggest thing is to just be patient with myself and to have grace with myself on days where I'm feeling really exhausted or like I really can't bring myself to do things, or if I feel unmotivated. I know it's all part of the narcolepsy, and it's also part of my body telling me, hey, I think you need a break, and accepting that I need breaks more often than most people. I need to make sure that I have time throughout the day to take a really quick 5 to 10 minute power nap if I need to. I've learned to become really comfortable with telling people, hey, I can only be at whatever event for like an hour before I start to get sleepy. But ever since I got diagnosed, it's been really good for me to just start speaking up for myself more and understanding my body and my needs more. Hi, this is me talking maybe 5 minutes after I've filmed the bulk of this video. I just realized that I forgot to talk about the cause of narcolepsy. It's genetic. There's something in my brain that's supposed to signal wakefulness and it doesn't, or it's missing. Something like that. Also, I was asked about vitamins and different mattress coolers and practical things that would help. I found that vitamin D and fish oil are kind of helpful for me, but it still doesn't fully keep me awake. Okay, back to the video. So yeah, that is basically everything I have to say about narcolepsy. Thanks for coming along with me as I make this. Maybe this will inspire you to make some too. I can't wait to have some in like 30 minutes when it's done. And I think I'll just wrap up here. Thanks for watching. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for making a snack with me. If you have any other comments or questions, leave them in the comments. I'd love to read them. Bye!